Welcome back, everyone, to another Weather at a Glance video. Today, we're going to be talking about our first preliminary summer 2021 forecast for this season. And if you are a summer lover, you are going to want to stick around and stay tuned because there are going to be many more preliminary summer forecasts being uploaded to the Weather at a Glance channel. So, I would ask you to subscribe if you are not, if you do like my uploads, because it really helps. The support always helps. And let's get right into this video. All right, and as you can see, this is our first slide, which is the precipitation outlook, and you can see that many portions have a diverse region for precipitation. There are multiple different regions scattered around the United States with below average precipitation due to different effects that are going on this summer. And you can see that the Northwest, we're still kind of holding on to that particular La Niña pattern. It is definitely starting to fade, and it will most likely be into a mixed area of El Nino and La Niña. So we won't really have either, but you can see that we still are trying to hold on to that La Niña according to the forecast models. And you can see that we do have a below average region. This is our slightly below average region right here, this tan region. And you can see that this is taking up a large portion of the western United States. Throughout the northwestern United States, you can expect below average precipitation this year. So something that you're going to want to look out for droughts, because droughts are definitely concerning area whenever you're also getting warm temperatures throughout the summer. So you're definitely going to want to keep a lookout for this drought, this potential drought. Of course, I'm not saying anything just yet about a drought, but this could lead to drought conditions if this La Niña persists. But likely, what I said is likely going to come true. We are looking at the ensemble models are stating that we are probably going to fade out of this La Niña pattern as we move into May. So some of that severe weather that's actually going on right now in the spring is going to start to be fading out, but that's besides the point. You can see that it is going to be affecting our summer likely still, so you are going to want to keep tuned so that you can understand if this La Niña eventually does fade. Now we are moving into our above average region, which you can see that this takes up a very large chunk of that northwestern United States, and we have portions of eastern Washington. And we also have northeastern Oregon, as well as northern Idaho, all of northern Idaho, and Montana. The entire state of Montana seems to be in this above average region for the majority of the summer, as well as western portions of the Dakotas. So if you live in any of these regions, definitely stay tuned and listen in on your news forecast as well, because they will be giving you an insight on how you can prepare for a potential drought if that does happen this summer. But of course, nothing is set in stone yet. This is just a preliminary forecast. Nothing you want to take to heart in this forecast. And as we move into the eastern part of the United States, you can still see that even the northern parts are holding on to that drought-like conditions as well. Though this is just a slightly below average precipitation. This means that you likely won't notice anything. You likely won't notice a difference, just maybe a slight difference of a drop in your precipitation, as well as the southern portions of Florida. Now, this might as well fade. I might take this off in my next forecast because Florida actually is pretty dry during the summertime, and during the winter, it's usually more high precipitation due to those patterns. So you can see that this is likely just going to be regular precipitation, but if this La Niña pattern does persist, you likely won't have that much precipitation down in Florida. As of right now, throughout the next couple of months, you guys are only looking about under 1 inch of precipitation. So definitely not as much precipitation as there should be, so this might be leading us into a summer pattern. All right, and here's the well-enthusiased above average precipitation for much of the eastern United States. Now, as you know, we did have a drought last year, a very bad drought. It was very bad up here in portions of Pennsylvania. We had a very severe drought. It was very severe. Unseasonably dry last year. So this is definitely going to be good for you guys. You can already see that we do have above average signs. This is our slightly above average region moving throughout basically all portions of the eastern United States except for the southeast. The southeast is holding on to that average precipitation. But as we move throughout portions of Louisiana, you can even see that we still do have throughout portions of the central plains, you can see that we have those slightly above average precipitation. Now, like I said, with the slightly below average precipitation regions, you aren't really going to notice a difference. But you might notice a slight difference, so keep that in mind that this isn't going to affect you, but I'm just giving you an idea of what you can experience. And as we move into our next region, which is the green region, you can see that we have above average precipitation. Now, this is taking up portions of southern Pennsylvania around Pittsburgh, New Jersey, and Philadelphia, and as well as portions of Ohio, central Ohio, and central Indiana, as well as Illinois, and into parts of Missouri and Arkansas, as well as northern Louisiana and northern Mississippi, into parts of Tennessee, which we saw those above average precipitation. And this likely is going to change. It's probably going to move a little bit more eastward as we take a look at those futuristic models, and you can see the persisting above average precipitation out there. So definitely something you guys are going to want to keep a lookout for if you live in Tennessee, because there is a lot of above average precipitation. Now we're moving into our well above average region on the above average precipitation map, and you can see that we have a very large portion of the eastern United States compared to other forecasts that are swallowed by this well above average region. And what this basically means is that you are definitely going to notice well above average precipitation. This actually does take part of a portion of southern Pennsylvania, nowhere near the Pittsburgh area, but this does take up a part of southern Pennsylvania down into all of West Virginia, Morgantown, and Cincinnati, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. You also are going to be included in this, as well as portions of Indianapolis. I think Indianapolis is included in this well above average region on my map. And Illinois, you are also included, as well as eastern Missouri and northeastern Arkansas. So those of you who experienced that Jonesboro, Arkansas tornado, I know that's a well-known area now. You all are included in this as well, in this above average precipitation. This likely has no effect on your severe weather, just maybe some increased rainfall. But definitely, if you live in this region, you want to keep an eye out for flooding, as you will be getting consistent rain and well above average rainfall for your spring seasons, or sorry, your summer seasons throughout the summer season of 2021. So make sure if you live in this area, you are going to want to keep a lookout for flooding, because this area around here could experience possible major flooding throughout parts of the summer, likely into July. And then as we move into August, you likely will calm down as those drier portions and those drier events do come into the United States. So this is definitely something you are going to want to keep a lookout for, as I always say in all of my videos. If you are prone to flooding, you definitely are going to want to keep a lookout for flooding this summer. So make sure that you are prepared. If you have anything you need to do to get ready for flooding, just an idea, you might want to start preparing. Of course, listen to your National Weather Service. They will give you an idea on everything. They do put seasonal forecasts out there, so make sure you go check them out. Your local National Weather Service, you can search up a near city to you, and they'll give you everything you need to know. All right, moving on to our next map. This is our temperature outlook map, and you can see that we do have more diverse regions scattered across the United States. The majority of the United States that I can already see that we really are not going to have too much of an effect on, mainly just average temperatures as that La Nina fades. But throughout portions of Florida, as that precipitation kind of dies down, without a lot of precipitation cooling the ground, you will have above average above average temperatures. This will be your slightly above average temperature region, and this is something that you really won't notice, but this is going to have an effect on your temperatures with little precipitation throughout the summer. So as you can see, we kind of have a butterfly effect on all of our weather here just by that precipitation. And as we move into portions of Maine and the northern United States, you can see that we do have a slightly below average region. This will likely not affect any of your weather, and you likely won't notice it, but definitely a little bit cooler than usual because of these Arctic blasts that are coming down here into the eastern United States. I don't think anybody in Wisconsin or Minnesota will be affected by these Arctic blasts, but definitely these northern United portions over here, as these Arctic blasts and the Arctic oscillation levels go down throughout the summer, you can experience some colder levels of weather throughout portions of Maine and northern New York, as well as for northern Vermont and northern New Hampshire. So definitely something that won't affect your weather, but you might notice a little bit of a chillier summer this year than usual, maybe down into the 60s and 70s than where you usually might reach 80 or so. So just something that you are going to notice. And as we move into our western parts of the United States, you can see that we do have these slightly above average temperatures, just like Florida. And this likely you will not notice these temperatures, but as we do as the climatology models show, they show a consistent pattern of slightly above average weather for you guys for these temperatures. So maybe some warmer temperatures than you usually feel. It definitely does get hot out in the western portions of the United States, but as we move into Washington, the state of Washington, without those usual precipitation levels, again, same thing as Florida, you likely will have a little bit of a warmer state as that moisture kind of keeps those skies clear, and you likely will have a summer or a sunnier summer this season. So something you guys might like to look out for if you live in Seattle. You might like this type of summer. This is going to be your summer most likely. As we move into our further forecast, you will see the pattern consisting, and you will get to an idea of what you will be looking for this summer in temperature wise. And as we move into our next region, which is our above average region of temperatures, right here through Oregon and in the northern parts of California, you can definitely see, I've noticed a pattern where there is consistently above average temperatures than there normally is on the CFS. You can definitely see that there are consistent areas of above average temperatures, and this area will likely be experiencing a partial drought this season if we have this consistent pattern on the models, as well as if this La Niña does kind of persist. You will see below average precipitation, which will have effect on your above average temperatures. So you guys will likely notice an increase in temperatures if this forecast does go right. You will likely see an increase in temperatures this summer. So make sure that you're prepared, because an increase in temperatures and a decrease in precipitation is never a good combination, especially for you guys in these wooded areas along these mountains. You are definitely going to want to keep an eye out for that, especially if you're a farmer. If you have a farmstead or are into agriculture, you are going to want to keep a lookout for these persisting drought conditions that might be going on through the summer. All right, and as we move on to our final forecast slide, this is the severe weather scale slide. And I know that I'm going to get some comments stating that this portion is way too big, but this does not mean, this is not like the SVC outlook where you see a severe weather outbreak. This is showing you levels of intensity of your likely severe weather. So as we move into our lowest peak scale, this is just saying generally severe thunderstorms, the normal, the usual that you do get. And with this lining of pattern starting to fade, we will have kind of an average severe weather season for the summer. And yes, we do get severe weather in the northern parts. There is more of a second season in the later summer portions. So definitely going to want to keep a lookout for that if you live in these central areas and northern area throughout portions of the northern Tornado Alley area, as well as in Missouri. But as we take a look at our first area region, which is our pink region, throughout Florida and throughout the Northeast, you can see that you will be experiencing severe thunderstorm warnings, all of that, and thunderstorms, but nothing severe where you're going to have tornado outbreaks or anything of that sort. That is not what you're looking at. So don't get worried if you live in these regions. This just means severe thunderstorm regions. The little notifications you might get on your weather app or something of that sort, just indicating some likely severe storms. Nothing that's going to cause any deadly risks or anything like that, so nothing you need to worry about. Now as we move into our next region, which is our dark pink levels, you can see that this does take portions of Texas and as well as the southeast, but those southeast regions are going to be cooling down with severe weather as we move into June, so you're not going to be experiencing your likelihood of severe weather that you usually would. We also have the northern parts of the United States into Michigan and areas around there, which Rhode Island, northern Pennsylvania, New York, and Wisconsin, as well as Minnesota. So you can see here that this is where you're going to be experiencing your next levels of severe thunderstorms. You might receive an enhanced risk of severe weather, so you might receive some tornado warnings. That could definitely be a possibility this summer. Likely you will, because usually northern areas usually get about 12 tornado warnings per office around this region, so you can expect that you will see some severe weather, possibly some tornadoes. No tornado outbreaks, of course, nothing of that sort that is set in stone just yet, but an increase in severe weather for sure, more so than our pink region that we just covered. All right, we're going to be moving into our next red region where things take a little bit of a step up. This is where you definitely could see those enhanced risks throughout this summer. And this is, we might be experiencing, still with that La Niña sticking around, we might be experiencing some slightly above average severe weather activity, but nothing that really seems to be too intense as we move into those summer months. This is all stuff that you're usually used to. As you know, throughout areas of the Northeast, throughout New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and into the Ohio Valley. You do have your severe weather season is from May to July. So as you move into the summer months, you will see that the Pittsburgh area, the Chicago area, and the New York area, the New York City area, you guys will be experiencing those severe weather events, as well as Atlanta, Oklahoma City, and Rapid City. You all will be experiencing that severe weather in the summer months. You could see possibly a moderate risk this summer, so definitely something you're going to want to keep a lookout for if you live in this red region. Of course, nothing set in stone just yet, but definitely this is a step up than usual as of right now in our forecast. So definitely keep an eye out on this and tune into our future forecast. We'll probably be doing one of these once a month until summer does come out, and then we'll put out our final summer forecast, which will give you the most detailed information on the channel so far. So that'll probably be around June. So definitely tune in and check that out when that comes out. And as we move on to our next region, which is this darker red region, this is where you're going to see definitely a step up in severe weather. You're going to most likely see a moderate risk, possibly. Of course, never say, when I say most likely, never take that into a definite possibility. That is not anything that is going to happen, but it is likely that you will see an enhanced risk to a moderate risk this season. And definitely, possibly, throughout these regions, derechos do form throughout the summer, kind of like what we saw in Iowa. And your severe weather season could persist of tornadoes, derechos, some microbursts. All of these areas do heat up during the summer months, and this is where your moisture kind of convects into the area, and you definitely do have a lot of severe weather. So if you live in West Virginia, as well as Iowa, eastern Iowa, into the Dakotas, and throughout the southeast even, you definitely will want to keep an eye out for that severe weather. That is something that will be affecting you this summer. As always, you guys know what you experience for sure. So keep an eye out for that. Definitely tune in your national weather services and your news stations, because they will always be doing live coverage, as well as here on the channel we'll be doing live coverage of severe weather if it gets too intense. And now we're moving into our final region for the East Coast, and it moves into portions of the north, to the north central United States. This is our dark red region, and this is where you'll be experiencing that severe weather. Now, the Carolinas the North Carolina region and Virginia region, we do see that those areas do get severe weather throughout July, as these regions do get that moisture and very warm temperatures that they do need, as well as those negative Arctic oscillations that do come out down into the southeast, causing upper level of the atmosphere. They'll be colder, and that'll be causing instability, as well as those moisture levels. So all of that going together, causing some high Cape values, especially when those storm systems and low pressure systems come through. So these areas will be seeing some possibly intense thunderstorms throughout the summer months. This is where your season really gets intense, and you could see some derechos, tornadoes, definitely stuff you're all going to be wanting to watch out for as these intense thunderstorms do come through with that low pressure system. The jet stream will be carrying these low pressure systems, kind of like a pattern just like this, and up throughout the Northeast. So these areas you could see, even in Tennessee, you could still see that severe weather throughout the summer months. Now we're going to be moving into our final region, which is our dark red region. This is where you'll be experiencing the most intense thunderstorms throughout the summer in the entire United States. Again, this does not mean your house will be hit by a tornado or your house will be hit by intense severe weather, but this does mean that you have a chance to see that intense severe weather. This includes St. Louis, O'Mara, and close to Rapid City, not so far into Rapid City, but yeah, close to Fargo as well, Fargo, North Dakota. So if you live in any of these cities, you are going to want to keep a lookout for this. I know that Rapid City is in our red region, but they definitely do experience severe weather and very intense thunderstorms as the instability gets further out there throughout the months of June, July, and August. So something you're going to want to look out for if you live in this red region, this dark red region. It's more of a browner region to some of you who have different perspectives. So if you live in this region, either way, the one that is circled with this black outline, definitely keep an eye out for the severe weather this summer. Again, your timing is June, July, and August. Mainly July will be your most severe weather month, but June, July, and August are your months you're going to want to keep an eye out. Keep that NOAA weather radio handy, and always have the notifications set on your phone for the National Weather Service warnings in case you ever do have the odd occasion of receiving a tornado warning or possibly any other severe weather. Alright, thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. I would ask you to consider subscribing for more U.S. forecasts free of charge. And I would ask that you consider following the Weather at a Glance official Facebook page for more inside information and complimentary forecasts when you message me on my Facebook page. Again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.